Hey guys, in this video we're going to be doing a quick blow dry tutorial on this lovely lady here. First thing you want to think about when you're blow drying for a client is where they part their hair. This lovely lady's parting is right here. She has a very deep part. Most people have something that's a little bit more over here. You will be able to see it once you pull the hair back and you push it, and it'll just kind of like tell you where it wants to fall. So you let the hair do what it wants to do, pull it back, push it again. So if someone has wet hair, you can just comb the hair back and then push it forward, and then it will split. So you'll be able to see where the parting is. I can tell for sure that she doesn't want to part here. People have off center, so it's just a tiny bit over to this plate to over here. There's probably like a cowlick of some sort, or a little bit over this way. Everyone is different. Some people are able to part their hair anywhere. So when you push it forward, it doesn't really go anywhere. That's when you're like, oh, you could probably part it this way or center. She's parting from here. What you want to do is you want to split away or section away the part that's parted. And then you want to section just around it, and you want to isolate that because we're going to come back to this. We're going to give it TLC because this is the part that they see. So you want to keep this really, really nice and smooth and fluffy. Normally, what I would do is start blow drying from the back. If there's one product that you want to use, it's usually a detangler. I really like Kerastase. I like Unite. I have a dry bar one. Redken has a wonderful one as well. So what I do is I section out the nape of the neck. Now the nape of the neck tends to be the heaviest for most people. There's always baby hairs here, especially if someone has curly hair, but you will have to learn how to do this. I'll show it to you in a second. When you go to section this area out, you want to curve. You're not going straight across, because if you go straight across, it'll just give you corners and you're not going to have enough hair to blow dry hair. So you want to go around because our heads are round, so you always want to do a round section. Now say she has baby hairs here. You take your smallest brush, you lift up this part, and this is one of the first things that you want to do because the hairline is very important in a blow dry. This is the part that if your client starts to sweat, this is the part that starts to frizz up the most. So you want to grab these baby hairs, blast it with the hair dryer, and then just start rolling. It'll take you 2 seconds to dry them. Don't ignore these baby hairs because your client's gonna walk out and they're gonna realize that the baby hairs were never taken care of. You also don't want to burn them. You want to make sure that you're not too close to the scalp because it can burn them. So just be mindful of that. It might take you a few times to learn how to do this. So I'm going to take the nape of the neck again because this is the heaviest part. We have different hair type. The back is always the thickest and always the strongest back here, which is quite annoying because I feel like everyone loses hair up here, but not here. And I'm going to clip this part up. These are your best hair clips, by the way. These are called, I call them duckbill clips, crocodile clips. Everyone has a name for them. You want to use a brush that's going to cover the size of the hair that you're doing. The section that you take with blow drying is always the same size as your brush. Never larger than that, otherwise it won't blow dry properly. With a smaller brush, you're always going to get more of a rounded effect. The larger the brush, the less rounded effect you're going to get. Okay, so this hair is getting caught up. I'm going to just grab it, take it away. Again, from under the ear to underneath the ear. Normally we have very thick hair in this area, very thick, very strong hair. These brushes that I'm using are Olivia Garden. They're my favorite. They're very good at grabbing the hair, which is something that you want to look for when you're blow drying or when you're looking for a good hairbrush. You want something that has a lot of tension, that's going to grab the hair really well. Moroccan Oil brand is also really good, except that I find that it breaks very fast. So Olivia Garden is my favorite. They are ceramic. They heat up really well. So they smooth the hair kind of like it would a flat iron. A lot of times when I'm blow drying, I focus right here more than the ends. The ends are great to polish off when you're blow drying, but you can do that at the end once you're done with the entire blow dry. So I like to go through them just because our ends also tend to be the most compromised. They're usually the oldest hair. It tends to be more broken. It tends to be a little bit drier. So I don't really go over the ends a whole lot. Just make sure that they're smooth. And when I'm blow drying this area, I don't go out. I don't pull the hair out straight out because that will give me too much volume. Nobody wants a big bouffant. And then start with the volume up here. So I'll show you in a second that we're going to take the brush upwards to create more volume. From the back, I'm coming around like this. I feel the top of the ear and I can see them in the mirror here. And I'm taking it from the top of the ear all the way down. So we're going to clip this away. And now I can see where my blow dried parts are and where the parts that need to be blow dried are. Sometimes you'll have a lot of layers poking out and you just want to put them away. Notice at this point I am taking the hair out a little bit. It doesn't hurt to add a little bit of volume. And then I'm slowly rolling it from the middle down towards the end. You have to continuously round it out. So this is one of the motions that you want to get used to, and that is rolling the brush in your hand. If someone has really frizzy hair, very curly hair, I do start with the sides first. I try to go as fast as I can. So now we're starting to go into the crown area. This is the part where you can start adding volume. So we said that this area is the part that we're gonna leave till the end. This is how much I'm taking off. I'm gonna clip this away. You can do this right in the beginning. A lot of times because I blow dry really fast, I don't have to do this separately. If you're a little bit slower, you might want to pin this away until you finish the rest of the hair. A lot of people will blow dry this first. They blow dry the hairline and then they do the back. For me personally, I find it very difficult because the wet hair is gonna get onto the dry hair. So now we're going into the crown and I'm gonna go across. Not as rounded as I did in the back in the beginning. I kind of have an idea of how much hair I need to take. I'm gonna double check it. So I have about this much hair to work with. I'm gonna start right in the crown. And I'm pulling the brush up for volume. Use the back of the hair dryer to take away any hot air, which cools down the hair, which means that the hair is going to set a lot better. So now if I let this go, I have lots of volume. Look at that volume. Now that I'm coming around the face, I don't want this to be volumized too much. So I'm not gonna pull all the way up. I'm gonna pull a little slightly out. Nobody wants a big gap here. You don't wanna add volume to the sides. That's not pretty. So I use my pinky always to grab the hair. and it gives you kind of a feeling of what needs to be done. If there are tangles in the hair, you want to brush the brush through a couple times to detangle it. So now the sectioning is a little bit uneven. So at this point, a lot of times I will do diagonal sections, and so that the hair, when it falls really nice and soft. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a larger brush. I'm going to grab the entire section. If it's wet, I want to make sure that the roots are dry. Let's say that the roots are dry now. I'm going to split it in half. So I did this section and then this section, and then I went over it in the middle just to blend the two pieces. And you can see she's got so much volume at the crown now. I'm gonna do the front. I'm gonna brush it out. So depending how you want the front to sit, I did take it away like this so that it does this little sweep. So I'm gonna start taking in the blow dry from underneath and then from the sides, and then marry any pieces together that feel like they're splitting apart. A lot of times if this section gets too big for me, too heavy, and it's not drying as fast, then I'll split it in two. I'll take my smaller brush and then do individual sections. But it's already been halfway dry, so I don't need to spend too much time on it. And then you have a ton of volume. The front piece, this is the one that most people struggle with. If you are doing your own hair, I'll show you how to do this section. I'm gonna use the smaller brush, and I'm gonna take the dryer from all directions so that the hair is comfortable to fall wherever it wants to fall. You want to take the hair forward, up, and then let it go. Where the magic happens, and you get them to sit in front of the mirror. And if this is you and you want to push the hair back, and then it naturally wants to part there. This is the most magical moment for everybody, when the hair does this kind of like, ooh, it's so beautiful. And if they just had their hair color done, oh my god, beautiful. Now sometimes when you do this part doesn't really blend in with the rest of the blow dry. So what you want to do is you can take the same brush and then go through it on a low setting. And this is the completed blowout. This is a very basic blowout. Look at all this volume and movement. She can tuck this side back. And that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial. I mean, I tried to make it as concise and as quick as I could. You can follow me on Instagram, Lena's Makeup and Hair. You can email me, lena@lenasmakeup.com. Just send me a DM. Okay, see you soon. Bye.